Hello, class. So, today we are going to see something very interesting, as in something which we will be using to give us energy. Okay, so what is the topic today? What do you see in the picture? Any guesses of what it could be? It looks like a mixed vegetable rice. Let us term this to be fried rice. We will keep this to be chicken fried rice. It looks like chicken. It could be chicken or paneer, but we will keep it as chicken fried rice. So, how do we get energy? We are not feeling sleepy all the time. Only during the night, or if the class is boring, we will sleep. But otherwise, we are all energetic. We want to run, play. How is it all possible? Where do we get energy from? We get energy from the food that we eat. The nutrients in the food is absorbed by the body and it is processed, and hence we get the energy. So, food plays a very important role in our life. Like every day you need to have food. Imagine one day you don't eat, like you skip breakfast and you go to school. What happens? You feel very tired, you're not able to move, you feel sleepy. So all these consequences happens if you don't eat food. So food is an integral part of our everyday life. So this much importance we give to food. So coming back to this fried rice, how do you think this fried rice is being made? So I think most of you would have gone to the kitchen at least to see what your parents or your sister or whoever is preparing. The smell pulls you to the kitchen. So you must have a basic knowledge of what cooking is and how it is done. So we will find out how this fried rice is being made. Okay. So fried rice mainly includes rice, which is on the left. See, rice being no put down. Can you see rice being spilled from a bowl into the vessel? And on the right, you have vegetables. So, fried rice is made from rice and vegetables. Okay, so this rice, where do we get this rice from? Now, think for a few seconds and come to a conclusion of where do we get this rice? Can you dig into the soil and get rice? No. Does it flow from the sky like rain? No. So, where do we get this rice from? It is from the paddy fields. Okay, so what happens? Can you see the yellow small grains? That is how rice looks when it is being grown. Okay, so all of a sudden, where does this paddy come from? Is it grown by itself, like how we eat, and we grow? Does it grow by itself? No, there has to be person growing this paddy or rice. Who grows this paddy? It is the farmers. Farmers sacrifice their lives so that we get food every day. Like they will have to get land, they will have to prepare the soil, they will have to sow the seeds, the rice, and then what happened? The raw rice, and then he has to give water. There has to be proper water supply. There has to be good sunlight. Water also shouldn't become too much or too little. It should be appropriate, for the rice to grow. Then okay, once he has sown and the rice has started growing, so all of a sudden it will not grow. It will take some time. Say 2 to 3 months it will take. Okay. In between there will be insects coming to eat this rice. So he has to make sure there is no insect or pest or any predator which will affect the rice. And he has to take care and he has to wait for it to fully grow, as you saw in the picture. See, it has to fully grow. It has to, bend down. It will not stay straight. If it is fully grown, it will give a slight bend, as you see in the picture. And then he has to harvest it. And then it is packed, it is processed. See, rice is not just rice. The rice which we eat is being processed. It will have husk. See, it will have a pod like structure. It will have a small skin. It is called umi in Tamil. You would have all heard about umi. Okay, so it has to be processed, polished, then it has to be packed. It is then brought to the markets. From the markets, we purchase and eat. See, there is a lot of process. Raw rice, can any of us eat? Obviously, no. You will want, tasty dishes like you want rice or you want sambar or say fried rice itself. You want it to be cooked. You want it tasty for you to eat. There is a lot of effort. Leave the farmers. They sacrifice their lives for us to eat. Imagine our parents or, our sisters or whoever it is preparing food for us. There is a lot of work, time, energy which goes behind the food which we eat every day. So remember, students, never to waste food. There are people dying every day without getting food. So food, you should be food is so important to us. God has blessed us with good food every day. Be thankful to God before every meal and never waste food. You should not waste even one grain of rice because it is that important. There is a lot of energy and time which is involved in preparing the food that you eat. Okay. So our country is India. Now India is an agricultural country. So what happened is that it was in the 1950s and 1960s where green revolution started. Green is indicating the agriculture. Green, the plants are green in color. So it is green revolution. Revolution is a change, a major change which is what is called revolution. So what happened? This green revolution is, it involved a lot of good fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, to grow these crops. Agriculture is a very tedious process. Tedious meaning is very, hard working. People have to put a lot of effort, time to grow the food. So there needed to be, a lot of revolution, change happening. Our country is a growing country, as in the population is continuously increasing. So more population, more food. So people thought, what can be done? So they started this green revolution. What happened is that it is, they gave new seed varieties, good healthy seed varieties. They introduced a lot of, machines which will sow, which will harvest, which will plow the land. All the machines were introduced. There were chemical fertilizers which were introduced, to increase the production. So that is green revolution. So after green revolution, what happened is that we had a seasonal cultivation. The name itself suggests seasonal cultivation. So what happened? See, there are different seasons. So cultivation is the growing of crops. So different seasons, like you have 12 months per year. So are all the 12 months the same? Obviously no. One time it is raining, one time it is sunny, one time it is winter. So according to the seasons, they started cultivating. Different seasons had different crops to be grown. So that is how they followed after green revolution. So coming to seasons, we have three important seasons in our country. That is winter, summer and monsoon, or the rainy season. Okay. So according to the seasons, there are three types. Three seasons, so three types. So the first type is kharif crops. So this kharif crop is grown during the rainy season. That is between, according to our, the proper schedule, it is June to September. It is raining. It is supposed to rain. The monsoon is during that period. That period, these kharif crops are grown. So what are the examples of kharif crops? You have rice, you have corn. The corn is the solam that we eat. Then you have soya beans. See, soya beans are a rich source of protein. There is a lot of protein behind this soya beans. I will show you meal maker. See, this is the small variety of meal maker. This is prepared from soya beans. Okay, it is rich in protein. And people who exercise and all take a lot of soya beans because it is rich in protein. It will give you a lot of energy. So on the right, you have sugarcane, from where you get sugar. Then groundnut, the verkadalai which you have. Then cotton is also a good example of kharif crops. Kharif crops are crops which are grown in the rainy season. Okay. Then we go to the second type of crop, which is the rabi crops. Okay, examples of rabi crops. When is this grown? So we finish the kharif crops from June to September. So October, afterwards the winter season starts, the kulir kalam, where it is pretty cold outside. So that period, these rabi crops are grown, which includes wheat, oats, chickpea. Chickpea is nothing but this, chenna. Chenna which we have is otherwise known as chickpea. Mustard is kadug. For all the garnishing, for making chutney, for sambar and all, mummy uses kadug. So that is mustard. Almond. Almond is nothing but badam. The dry fruit which we have, badam is almond. And broccoli. Broccoli is, it should be very familiar to you. The shape of it. It looks like cauliflower but green in color. Cauliflower is white in color and this broccoli variety is green in color. So these are the example of rabi crops. So what else? We finish rainy season, we finish winter season. The final season is summer. Okay, so zaid crops are grown in summer, that is after March, where it is becoming, hot. The sun is nice and hot. The examples are cucumber, watermelon. So we will easily remember the examples of zaid crops. How do we remember? When it is hot, what does, your parents give you? They give you all the, water fruits and vegetables like cucumber, watermelon. Lot of watermelon juice you will have during summer. So that is, present in summer. So we will easily remember zaid crops using this summer season. So cucumber, watermelon, and bitter gourd is also grown during the summer season. So we saw the crops grown in summer. The next we'll go to crops which are, based on the utilities. Utility is how or for what purpose it is used. Uses of the crops, they are classified. So the first variety is food crops. Food crops meaning which we eat. So you have rice, you have wheat. Okay, that is the first type, food crops. Second is fodder crops. So we eat rice like fried rice, sambar rice, or curd rice, dosa, idli, all that we eat. What do the cows eat? Do they prepare food? Somebody prepares and gives them food? No, they eat fodder. It is called Tivanam in Tamil. Okay, the examples of fodder crops includes sorghum, different types of millets. You see in the picture, right? The grass like all these are fodder, and the cows and the goats eat fodder crops. Third variety, fiber. We wear clothes, right? Like I am wearing clothes, I am wearing a sari. So this clothes are made up of fiber. Like they will have threads. All these threads are, put together to prepare your clothes. So all those types of, crops like cotton, which is on the right is cotton, left is hemp. In Tamil it is called sanal seeds or sanal vidaigal. They are hemp. Okay, hemp seeds, they are classified as fiber crops. We have finished what crop? Hemp. Okay, the fourth one is oil crops. You would have seen this. Can you see? This is yell. You would have had this nallanai. When you have this podi and all, your in your house they will give you nallanai. That is from sesame seeds. On the right you have verkadlai, which is groundnut, which is kadlenai. So these are oil crops from where oil is taken out. It is pressed and pulled out. It is called oil crops. So last one, ornamental crops. So what are these ornaments? You wear chain, you have necklaces, right? They are for ornamental purpose. They are for decoration. So these are ornamental crops. They don't give you fruits or vegetables. They are only for decoration purpose. Like the one on the left is crotons. They don't flower, but they have different types of leaves. They will be very common, like the one you see in the picture. They are croton varieties. They are ornamental crops. The one on the right, these plants you would have seen on the compounds of many houses. This is the bougainvillea plant. The flowers of bougainvillea is very, very thin. It will be like tissue. So it's also called as paper flowers. So ornamental crops. So these are the varieties of crops based on the utilities. So all this is ornamental crops. What all have we seen? We saw about food crops. Then we saw about fodder crops. Then we saw about fiber crops. Then oil crops, and finally ornamental crops. So all that covers the crops based on the utilities. Okay, so next, agricultural practices. What happens? See, when you have to do agriculture, there is a lot of effort involved, as I already told you. You just like that cannot sow seeds on any place and it will not grow. Now let us consider an example. You want to grow a plant, so you choose a pot, you put the soil, you prepare the soil. All the rocks and all have to be removed. It has to be good soil so that the plants can grow. Then you'll have to put the kitchen waste, which is manure is nothing but nourishment for the plant to grow. Then you will have to put in the seeds. Then you will have to give water, irrigation. Water, the supply of water is called irrigation. Then after supplying water, you cannot leave it like that, because there will be insects coming, there will be birds trying to eat up the seeds. So you will have to make sure you guard the plant or the small seeds you've thrown, and then you will have to harvest after it is fully grown. If it is fruits, you can harvest the fruits or the vegetables, or like rice, you have the grains, all that, and then it has to be stored. So these are the processes involved in agriculture. Like plowing. Plowing is, it has, the soil has to be, a little loose so that the plant can give roots. It will go in search of water and it will grow slowly. So the first is plowing, then is manuring, then you have to sow the seeds, then you will have to water them, which is irrigation, then you'll have to spray pesticides, and finally harvesting. After harvest, you cannot just like that leave the grains. For example, imagine a farmer has, meticulously, like he's worked very hard to, grow these, paddy. After that, just like that, you cannot, you put the rice, all the other organisms, like, birds or different animals might eat up whatever is there. So it has to be properly processed and has to be stored in a dry place. So these are the processes involved in agriculture. So what all did we see today? We saw about the different crops according to the seasons and according to the utilities. Then we saw about the agricultural practices. So that's all for today, class. Thank you.